Yeah.
What do you think is the real reason?
Abby asks Eli Honig why he thinks Pam Bondi shouldn't have a job.
What do you think is the real reason that she shouldn't have a job right now?
Well, the reason she shouldn't have a job or the reason she doesn't have a job? The reason she shouldn't have a job is because she carried out Donald Trump's overtly political agenda to prosecute people who wronged him politically. The reason she doesn't have a job is because she wasn't good enough at it.
What he is saying here is that her role wasn't neutral law enforcement, but aligned with a political objective.
I do think Pam Bondi can perhaps be a source of cross-ideological agreement. So we have Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives. Does anyone at this table think that Pam Bondi was a good attorney general? Speak now.
Now, we see Jason Rantz step in and defend Pam Bondi.
Yeah, I think in some cases she was effective, in others she wasn't.
Okay.
I think the handling of
Trump-
the Epstein files undoubtedly was botched from the beginning.
Donald Trump
and that was
disagrees with
something
you
she
because
did.
he just fired her, so he doesn't
Yeah.
think she was any good.
This is what President Donald Trump, posting on Truth Social, said about Bondi's firing.
Well, no, he's not saying that she had a failed first year, clearly.
Oh, it's
clearly, she didn't do what he wanted to get done in that particular position over the course of the year. But that doesn't mean that there were any successes.
What's the
When you
best
look
thing she did?
specifically at crime, crime is down. She's been making a point to go after actual criminals, including cartel-tied cells in this country. She also was the head of the AG's office, as we actually went after the Antifa groups that people pretended didn't exist for about 6 years.
So he's reframing her performance around outcomes, crime trends, cartel enforcement, Antifa, basically focusing on broader results.
Those are great
So
talking
those are
points. Let me
points.
give you some stats.
It's truth.
Crime is down across the country. That's a great thing. That's a good thing. Pam Bondi presided over the dismissal and closing out of 23,000 criminal cases, federal cases, gun cases, drug cases, violence cases, more than any DOJ since 2004. She got rid of those cases. Why? So they could do more immigration prosecution. So yes, crime rates fell. You can attribute that to a whole lot of factors.
Crime was falling at historic rates before Trump came into office. That's also true. But I
Abby brings the discussion back to Pam Bondi's firing.
want to get to why she was fired, because I think this is important. She was fired because she didn't go after Trump's political opponents.
And now the conversation moves from performance to expectations. What she did, but more importantly, what she didn't do.
Now, Trump has put in somebody, his former personal attorney, who I presume he thinks, at least on a temporary basis, will do that. Is this where we're at right now in this country, where it's just like one attorney general after another until he gets the prosecutions that he wants?
Watch Lydia Moynihan jump in with a different angle, but pointing toward the same idea, that her removal was tied to expectations not being met.
Well, I think that's a conclusion that you could jump to. I mean, yeah, this is the second cabinet figure in a few weeks who's been fired. I think most Republicans would look at that, though, and say, look, Trump is eager to find somebody who is competent. And when you look at the things that a lot of Republicans are eager for the attorney general to do, I don't think the lawfare is, and I think as Jason mentioned, a lot of it's going after Antifa. That's a big part of it. A lot of it's going after some of the foreign money that's funding Code Pink and some of the protests.
But he wants
going
the
to
lawfare. I mean, is that appropriate?
Pam Bondi's had some measurable outcomes, but ultimately didn't deliver on the most politically important ones.
Framing, I think your point is a valid one when it
that
comes
is
to
very
optics.
different from the
Why?
president directing his attorney general in public, mind you, as he did. Pam, I've reviewed the 30 statements. What about Comey, Adam Schiff, Letitia, right? He's doing this. It's very different from a state doing whatever they're doing, from a local, district attorney prosecuting a case. That is different. When the president says, why are you not prosecuting these people who I hate?
So what started as a discussion about Pam Bondi has now become a discussion about how power is used and what expectations come with these roles.
Broke laws.
Okay,
now,
but it's
you
not
can
his place
disagree
to do
as to
that.
whether or not they broke any laws, and you can have a fair argument, I think, about the appropriateness of the president doing it. But I do think that the framing is
So
important.
you're defending it then?
I'm defending the president saying someone, in his view, broke the law, and we should be targeting that person. The same exact way Democrats said that about Donald Trump, and it wasn't framed as Donald Trump is being targeted as a political
Jason, you're
adversary.
making
This is where Abby calls out Jason about his whataboutism.
that sound as if it's reasonable, and it's not, okay? The president making a unilateral determination in his own mind that somebody has broken the law without providing, by the way, any proof of that, and then directing an investigation into that person is
Calling for an
that is
investigation versus
that is
arresting
not
different.
that is not appropriate.
But let me
Okay,
let
I'm
me
sorry.
check.
If you don't like, partisan prosecutions, you should also not like that.
So yeah, you can look at Pam Bondi two ways: as someone who delivered certain results, or as someone who didn't meet specific expectations. And which one matters more depends on how you define the role in the first place.